Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our channel E for Education. I am Umar Zaheer and today I am presenting the topic the advantages and disadvantages of online education. So let's moving on next slide, which is about the outline of this topic, in which we discuss about the history of the online education, and secondly we discuss about what is online education, and next we discuss about the tools, advantages and disadvantages of online education. That is our main topic, and at the last we can conclude them. So let's start the history of the online education. The first distance learning classes started through mail in 1892, almost 130 years ago. It is really interesting. After that, online education transferred through radio in 1922. In 1953, people get the e-learning through TV, and a revolutionary change occurred in 2005 when YouTube are launched and e-learning having proper platform. So let's start the concept of online learning. Imagine you can study at the best college or university without leaving your country or your home. Are you interested? So let's start. Online education is electrically supported learning that relies on the internet for teacher-student interaction and the distribution of class material. The non-existence of a physical classroom, flexible schedule and reduced personal interaction. You know what makes the distance learning different? A part of a high degree of freedom. You can take all types of courses, discuss with your teachers, exchange notes with your class fellows, and give online exams without presence on college or universities. So according to the USA Department of Education, online learning is learning that is undertaken on computer by means of internet. So why not we start today and find our dream education sitting on our home. So moving on the next slide, which is about the tools of online education. The tools of online education are: number 1, Google Classroom. It is most easy and cheap way to take class at Google Classroom. So we can take class at Google Classroom in the form of a text. So next is Zoom Cloud. In Pakistan, it is most usable app for online education. It allowed both video and audio conferences. And other apps are Khan Academy, TEDx and Class Dojo. All these apps are useful for online education. So moving on the next slide, which is about the advantages of online education. Number 1, less cost. Online education cost is generally less expensive as compared to the other types. It means more access for others. And number 2, the comfort of our home. In distance learning, you can study with your own space for anywhere and anytime. And the third one is no class and no transport cost. And continue. And next one is be anybody. Means you may learn any type of education sitting in your home. You may learn about doctor, engineer, lawyer or cook. And next one is be any age. Learning has no age limit. So you can learn at any age of your life. And the next is easy to fit learning into your day. We attend our classes sitting in our bed or place or any place in our home with a cup of tea or coffee. So moving on the next slide, which is about disadvantages of online education. The number 1, no control. In the case of regular learning, the learning controlled by the teacher, and the teacher motivate the students to study. But in the case of online learning, it is just opposite. The control is the hands of students. And second is learning approach. In regular learning techniques, students interact with each other face to face. This interaction becomes enjoyable for them. But in online education, they feel that this approach is very dull and they find it very boring to study alone. And next one is technology dependent. Online education depends solely on technology. Internet becomes the second necessary. If the gadgets may experience some faults, in the case of fault, the online education not continue for short while. And the next is no practical work. In regular method of learning, regular practice sessions are organized for the students, but in the case of online education there are no practice session for the students. So this is a great drawback. The next draw, resource incapability. Every student has computers with different specifications. The sources which are sent to the students are the same, that is they have the same format. So the sources which is working properly on one computer may be incapable with the other one. So it is again disadvantages of online education. So in the next slide we can conclude all the discussion that we have done. Over last few years, the popularity of online education has grown remarkable. In our education, use technologies. The technology used in online education improve understanding of students. They are able to retain more knowledge and it makes study flexible for them. But it becomes the advantages when the student take it for granted and they become lazier for studying. So at the end, thank you for listening me.